Hello and welcome to the Cesspool podcast, where we talk about everything and anything, no matter how disgusting or offensive. This is our fourth episode, but we'll still be introducing ourselves. I'm your co-host Tyler with my other co-host Joseph.
We're gonna have a special guest today, coming on later, so stay tuned for our surprise guest.
Hmm.
For our first section, we'll be talking about current events. Our first topic will be about Democrats seeking a lower Medicare age or lowering the Medicare age. So the congressional Democrats and the Biden administration are planning another round of healthcare initiatives that could include lowering the Medicare eligibility age following in their major expansion of the Affordable Care Act this year. The Democrats are still negotiating over which healthcare policy elements could be in the second of two spending programs. The administration plans to unveil soon, according to congressional aides and industry groups. Biden has said lowering the Medicare age would be a tool to get more people covered. As many as 23 million new people could become eligible for the program that now provides coverage to about 60 million seniors, according to Avalier Health, a consulting company. 85% of Democrats and 69% of Republicans favor lowering the Medicare age to as young as 50, according to the poll taken in 2019 by the Kaiser Family Foundation. The Democrats want to lower the drug prices as well. However, the drug companies have opposed price negotiations in the Medicare, which they say would eat in their profits and mean less money for the development of new treatment. So our first question is, what do you think about this whole idea of lowering the age eligibility for Medicare?
So I think that it's a good idea in theory. I feel like there's definitely going to be a lot of logistical problems when you add a lot of new people to a program that's already flawed. Um, I understand where a lot of people are coming from. Where like, oh yeah, no, it makes sense, but it is going to be a lot more money, and it's going to strain the amount of money that is like provided to each person individually. So the quality of care might be worse than it currently is, which is, I mean, it works right now, but it could be better. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
And I think
Uh,
adding sorry, I think adding more people will only decrease that quality.
mhm. For me, I think their whole logic to this, right, is not only can they cover more, it becomes younger people don't get as sick or need as much medical care as seniors, which is why they're kind of saying if we kind of let go of some of these seniors who we have to take care of like for a like extensive length of time, like we could be using that time to help the other people that could be saved, or at least the disease or anything they have can be fixed like quickly and more efficiently. Like, you know what I mean? Like, younger people have better immune systems, better just body in general. So
Yeah.
they use less money and they use less resources compared to an old person or a senior.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's their logic to that.
It could.
Which,
Sorry. Yeah.
yeah.
No. You can finish.
No, 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 no. I was gonna go on to a different topic, but you can keep going.
I was gonna say it actually it makes sense. I know the drug companies are saying. Well, actually, yeah, no, they're saying they don't want to lower the prices because it would eat into their profits. Um, I don't know. It's hard to say because I feel like the drug companies would greatly benefit from this because I know the Democrats said they want to lower the prices, but I
Hmm.
feel like the drug companies are definitely not. I mean, it says that they don't want it, but they're probably going to be all for the bill, or all for the initiative because it's going to give them more money. And also, if like let's say older people are like let go from the program, I feel
Hmm.
like private hospitals or private care facilities are gonna freaking explode from that because, or like in a good way, because uh they're gonna be getting the care that the government was already providing, which is a problem that happens a lot where the government gets rid of its own version of something and then just
Yeah.
leaves it in the hands of private companies to deal with, and it ends up being worse for everybody because they can't afford it.
Mm.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess like a lot of people would like. Yeah. I mean, I'm interest. I mean, I don't have much to say except the fact that 85% of the Democrats agree with this, and over 50% of the Republicans also favor lowering the Medicare age. So I guess it means that most people that know what they're doing, or at least people that know about this in depth more than we know about this, what like about this Medicare thing,
Hmm.
agreed to it. So I mean, I'm all. I mean, if the experts say it's good, I mean, I mean, I'm all for it, right?
Yeah, no, I agree. Clearly, like what they're going with, but I find it interesting actually because like Republicans were vehemently opposed to the Affordable Care Act, and when it was proposed by Obama, and I
Mm-hmm.
find it interesting that now they're like, oh yeah, no, or 69% of them, that's a pretty fair margin, are like, yeah, no, I mean, I guess we have it now, we might as well make it better. But I don't know. I find that interesting because Republicans
I mean, it
generally,
might also just be the fact that maybe Medicare is like it like you don't need to pay as much for Medicare, right?
yeah,
Like the taxpayers,
mm-hmm,
because like logically or if we're thinking of it in a large scheme of things, um right, like old people need more medical care, so like more doctors, more nurses, just more equipment and all that, but like I said, younger people don't need that much stuff.
yeah,
So yeah, so I feel like like a lot of this uh money would kind of drop a little bit. Like you don't need as much of these stuff, so you don't need to buy any more of it. So then the taxpayers wouldn't have to pay as much. I
yeah,
think
that's true.
that's why they like it. I mean, I don't know. I don't
But
fully know what
something I
this is
was
about.
a theory I actually just came up with was like the idea that they're lowering um the age might like if Republicans like publicly agree to something like that, it's gonna
Mm,
because I think like like the Republican demographic is within that age range. So I feel like the idea that the Republicans would like publicly agree to something like that, it would
yeah.
probably uh, look good for them because it's like targeting their part of their demographic.
Mm. That would make sense. Yeah.
That's
Um,
yeah.
yeah, obviously we were talking about the political side of this. I want to talk about the actual seniors that might be affected by this. Because, like I said, it does, a lot of resources are poured into seniors who need it. But the question is, if they really need it and we're lowering the age eligibility, then they would lose that not choice, but like that ability to keep themselves healthy. So the question is, what do you think will happen to the seniors that rely on Medicare that cannot get it anymore?
Well, why wait? But why wouldn't they be able to get it anymore?
Well, they're lowering the age eligibility to 50.
Yeah.
So people that are like 51, 52, 53, up to like 60 or 70, 80, they need Medicare. But what if and they can't get it? Then what happens to them is the question.
Well, why
How are
wouldn't
they
they be?
gonna
Well,
deal with
no,
that?
but I'm just saying. Oh, but why wouldn't they be able to get it? Is there like a limit or something on the amount of people that can use it?
No, the age eligibility. If you're older than 50, you can't get Medicare.
Wait, is that what they're saying?
Yeah, that's what this is. You have to be eligible to get Medicare, right?
But it says like as young as 50. So I'm pretty sure if you're old, like 50 or older.
I don't think that's what it means, man.
Well, there's no way. I can't imagine that they would do
I mean,
that.
they're lowering the Medicare age. They're not increasing it.
No,
So
I
it
think
means that
they're lowering the minimum age that you have to be.
I don't know if that's what it means
I,
to.
I
Okay,
can't
let
I
me.
can't imagine them doing that because that'd be really messed up.
Hmm.
Also, I feel like the Republicans probably wouldn't agree to that. Well, I don't know. Yeah, they probably wouldn't, especially in that number. I don't know. That seems very weird, but I don't know.
Because like, wait, let me get the actual article
Uh huh.
because I have it here. Yeah. Okay. So it says here
What does it say?
Congressional Democrats, blah, 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 planning to another round of initiatives, including lowering the Medicare eligibility age following their major expansion on the Affordable Care Act. This year, Democrats are still negotiating over which healthcare policy elements could be. Yeah, I literally wrote that. Uh, okay, so proposal to expand Medicare eligibility from age 65 to 60 and to enable the federal government to negotiate drug prices in the health program for seniors, both which President Biden supported on campaign trail are also likely to be included. We should lower the eligibility age for Medicare from. Okay, okay, so you are right. So they
Yeah,
don't cut you off. Okay, that makes more sense.
because
I
like
was
there's
like,
no
then
that would be just
what? Yeah, I was like, then what happens to the seniors that actually need Medicare? Do they just die?
they just throw them out of the hospital. They're like, ah, you guys are you're on your own now.
Yeah, I mean that makes much more sense. But yeah, I mean that's a lot of money then.
It
Like I
is.
thought it was is flipped, but it's
No, it's
more
just it's
seniors.
yeah, it's adding a lot of people, which is why I'm saying like with the money thing, it's gonna be kind of interesting to see because Medicare already takes up a very large amount of our budget.
You know what else also has a ton of money that is being funded
What?
or getting funded by the government is our military funds. We need to cut that. Literally, if you look up government funding,
Oh, I know.
like a huge chunk of it is just military. Why do we need more like why?
Uh, yeah, it's a good question actually. I mean, it's a complicated answer. I don't know. I guess like it's always kind of been that way. I mean, this is not as
Okay,
bad
let
as
me.
it was like in the
Okay,
80s or
so the defense or homeland security, right?
mhm,
That's 16.2%. Social Security is 25.3%, and
yeah.
healthcare is 28%.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's already a very large margin of the
But
budget
why?
because it's expensive. And that's
God,
why
that's
like that's why
if we just cut the Social Security thing in
no,
half, we can get
no. Well, the
25%.
so that's actually a problem because with Social Security, like a lot of people are like baby boomers are getting into the age where they're eligible for Social Security right now. And since that is
Yeah, we're gonna lose
literally
all that money.
yeah, and that's literally like one of the largest generations in U.S. history. So like that's gonna put a lot of strain on the Social Security. I don't know. Like people are kind of scared about it. A lot of people say they're gonna run out of money, like Social Security,
Hmm.
and then they'll screw everybody. If it made it to like millennials, that would be a bigger problem because
That's why we need to cut Social Security. Just don't give help to the people that are baby boomers. Just let them, kind of just.
I do think maybe like they should change the way Social Security works. I don't know. There's people who say that like the U.S. should end up just having a universal basic income, which I mean, is it the way we're heading? Yes. I don't know if I necessarily agree with it because it's like that's a lot of money that we don't have
Or or what we can do is we can have our home security funding. Have that. Why do we need so much money for military stuff?
because
What
it's
are we
expensive.
building? What are we building or what are we investing into
Uh,
our military that takes that much money?
planes and boats and
Dude, you know one jet
tanks.
is like $1 billion, like $1 million. Like one of
Yeah.
like the dude, why?
You know how much like a new like aircraft carrier costs? They're building a bunch of them right now.
Okay, but aircrafts make sense though.
I know
aircraft,
it is a very strategic thing.
yeah. But
Um,
one jet is so expensive.
well, because and you know the funny thing is the newest like jet is just terrible. Like the military doesn't even want to buy it anymore. But I forget who developed. I believe it was Lockheed developed it, and it's just freaking
Okay. So the F-35 is $80 million.
yeah. That one's really like it doesn't. It's not very effective apparently
But why would you make it $80 million?
because it's very
Bro,
highly advanced.
you can cover like over 10 million like students with that like in student loans with that money.
Yeah,
Literally one jet for a one man fly pilot. That's probably not as big. Like that's not even bigger than like you know what I mean? It's not even that big.
yeah. No,
It cost $80 million. That blows my mind.
and
That small tiny engine that is made to fly is $80 million.
so hold on. So I just found an article. Actually, it's from the Philadelphia Inquirer. It says, "Will the U.S. learn from the 1.7 trillion dollar goof that would have paid for Biden's infrastructure plan?" Which is what we talked about last week, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Because the F-35 was such an actual mess. Like the development of it cost taxpayers 1.7 trillion dollars. The development of the plane, not the price of buying it, because the government, like, so the way government aircraft are built, generally they'll go to a manufacturer like Lockheed, for example, and they'll say, "Oh, I need this, 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 and this in the plane," and then Lockheed will say, "Oh yeah, I'll build it for this price," and or yeah, I'll develop it for this price, and in this case, it was 1.7 trillion dollars. That's funny, right?
It's if only our founding fathers can see us now.
I know, right? I don't know why we needed this. It's supposed to be a stealth fighter jet, but I don't really get. I don't know,
Why
man.
do we need more jets?
It's not a very it's
Who,
not a very
who are
effective
we
plane,
who
actually.
are we fighting right now?
Um,
Who are we fighting
I don't
other than
know.
the terrorists? Other
It's
than
the
terrorists.
threat. It's the threat of like China, pretty much. It's not even Russia anymore. Russia's
Yeah, I
irrelevant.
know. Russia, I mean, no, it's not even Russia's irrelevant. It's just Russia doesn't care anymore.
No, they're busy freaking getting ready to take back the Ukraine or whatever.
Yeah.
They're like,
They're more interested in their European theater of war, but like America's like that paranoid teenager that wants to like put all his money into like keeping his home safe.
yeah. I mean, we're
And
always freaking out over
uses the
China.
excuse of protecting his home to invade other people's home.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like America has become like this nation of hypocrisy where it's like we're here for peace, so I'm gonna invade your land and occupy it so we can keep the quote unquote peace. It's America has been doing a lot of questionable things, and it's just like what are we gonna do about it? Like they're just like there's a superpower of the world now. Like nobody can stand up to America.
Well,
Except,
China,
except that, I mean,
China, because
I
China,
guess.
see, this is
I
the
think
problem.
China's just massive, right? That's just it. They don't. I
Well,
don't think they have a good military, like compared to America's.
yes, but here's the problem. Because so honestly, the next war is not going to be fought with weapons. It's entirely going to be a trade war, and this is what people don't
Mhm.
understand. Like especially people in the military, or people like who fund the military, not necessarily servicemen or anything, but like uh, because we as in the United States we rely so heavily on foreign trade. Like it's insane how much we rely specifically on China, right? And
Mhm.
if like China gets mad at us or something, they'll be like, "Oh
They
yeah,
can cut
no,
us off.
yeah, exactly," and we will die.
Yeah. Not only that, it's like we're funding. I mean, our military runs off of like uh, a ton of stuff that is made from China,
Yeah, I mean, actually, okay.
and
To be
like
fair, our aircraft, no, actually, our weapons are mostly made in the United States. Actually,
no, yeah, but like there are some parts that are from China, is what I'm saying.
parts and fuel, which isn't from China necessarily, but like
Yeah.
only about half of our oil is domestic anymore. So
China right now is like China's like that octopus that's like grab like that can grab other people's economies and just choke them out.
yeah,
Because if you
no,
think about it,
mm-hmm,
most of everything that especially like everyday stuff is made in China,
uh-huh,
and the fact that if let's say they decided to they got mad at America and they said we're not going to trade with you anymore, and then America goes like, oh, then we'll invade you, so then they ask for more, they try to get more oil from the Middle East or whatever, right? They try to trade with like other countries that
yeah.
can supplement. Then China can be like, well, you guys won't get traded with me, so if you trade with America now, then we won't trade with you. Then they're going to be compelled to keep quote unquote neutral and not trade with America.
Also, if you think about it, the population difference between the United States and China is so immense that because the way I understand China is that it is a communist capitalist or communist government capitalist economy. So
Mm-hmm.
and it's very totalitarianism, like really bad. Like the way that they control people is insane. So what I'm saying is like if we did get into a like actual combat war with China, like we said we were going to go and invade China, number one, we'd get Russia mad. We'd get North Korea. Okay, they're kind of irrelevant, but
No, North Korea, I feel like would no, but they would do something because
I
if
know, but
Big Daddy China is threatened, they go like, we're gonna fight too,
no, I know, and I
and
believe
then
Russia
Korea
probably
will
would
be
as well.
dragged in. Dude, when it comes to the democracy versus communism, it always brings in everyone. If America gets China mad, then China's gonna, or America tries to invade China, then Russia's gonna get mad.
Yeah,
North Korea is gonna get mad. Those three are gonna get mad, which means South Korea is now gonna get mad.
yeah,
Not
and Japan.
Japan is gonna. No, Japan has nothing to do with this, but Japan is somehow gonna get mad.
Well,
Like they're just
no,
gonna find.
because the thing is that like we basically are the Japanese military. So because the Japanese military doesn't really exist anymore, so they would side with us because we protect them from
Oh
everything.
yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah. Okay. And then Japan, whatever, right? But
I
Japan doesn't count. Like Japan's like half a player. It's
Yeah,
not
but
even part of
they're
it.
an economic player.
That is true. That is true. But I mean, if you think about it, economic wise, China already beats Japan.
Oh, I know,
Korea,
but I
I
know, I
mean,
know.
even if Korea and Japan were to work together, which they are really good with economy. Like I think Korea and Japan are like neck and neck with each other in economy power.
Hmm.
I'm not sure, but it's either one is more powerful. But yeah, those two I don't think can even compete with China. Just the fact that China just has so much more factories and sweatshops that
Yeah.
can just can outproduce like any of these
Well,
countries.
yeah. See, that's the problem with like China because they don't have any labor. I mean, they say they have labor laws, but they don't. So that's like the only
Although
like
their labor law is there's only one labor law for China, and that's work till you die.
basically.
Yeah.
Got to be productive. You got to keep the spirit of Mao alive.
No, it's actually insane. Like their hours are like literally
Well,
like
it's
sit like 16 hours and then 4 hours of sleep and then go back and work again.
so the funny thing is that it, like they're like America was before we had labor laws, actually. Because
Yeah.
back in, well, even into like, I'd say the 50s and 60s was probably when we stopped being the manufacturing superpower.
Yeah. No,
But like
but we still had super dangerous and like no restrictions on anything.
in the 60s, yeah, we did. You couldn't do the stuff that China does.
Well, yeah, in 60s, in 60s.
Like I'd say after World War II. Well, I mean, child labor or like labor laws in general. it was during like the 1890s and stuff when people started striking and you know and who and they the jungle came out. I forget the writer. We talked about this.
Yeah, Upton Sinclair.
Yeah. So like
Yeah,
when that kind of stuff came out, that's when we were still like an economic and manufacturing superpower. I mean, just look at World War II. But like
yeah,
after World War II, it was a slow decline. But we still made things in America, I'd say, up until like the 60s. But like that's when China, it took China a while to industrialize. It didn't happen until like the 60s or the 50s after well when it became communist.
exactly. Not only like, I feel like if I don't know, I don't think China is gonna ever change in that matter, like
No.
in the idea
Well,
of like,
not until that regime falls, and it's not going to for a long time.
yeah, it's just, fear mongering, propaganda, and all that. Just I think like, I mean, I'm saying this like, you know, it might offend people, but I think China and North Korea learned so well from Hitler and Mussolini and like Stalin
Yeah,
in so well that they've become they've like, when Mussolini and Hitler, like, they made governments that could like that like forced people to do things, but they were temporary. They haven't like lasted that long. But like China and like North Korea lasted that long because they learned from uh from Mussolini and Hitler, right? And Stalin.
uh huh.
So like these two are like quote unquote the successful dictators, right? Like I mean, think about it. Even being able to hold a dictatorship for 3 generations in North Korea is insane.
Yeah,
I have Mussolini couldn't hold it for what? How long did he rule Italy for?
maybe 15, 20 years at the most.
Exactly. And that wasn't even like most of his life. He just got killed at the end.
Yep.
And Hitler just killed himself. Joseph Stalin died from a hemorrhoid because no, a brain hemorrhage. I think he died from a brain hemorrhage because he was too scared that doctors would kill him. So he sent all his good doctors away or killed them, and all the terrible doctors were too scared to operate on him, and he died.
I mean, the
So
Soviet Union survived for a pretty long time, though.
I guess, but I'm talking. Yeah, you're right. Um, but I mean, I guess I'm talking about like present day presents, right? Like they're gone now,
Hmm.
and like
I mean,
China is still.
debatably, Russia is still kind of a dictatorship, but it's debatable.
Yeah, but I think I mean they have less
No, it's
restrictions.
not the Soviet Union anymore. No, but like,
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah. It's still like a quote unquote a dictatorship, but they
yeah,
label themselves as,
as a federation, but it's
exactly.
not.
Yeah, it's not. We all know it's not. They just say they are.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So I don't know. It's like they're not gonna change. First of all, like unless like Chinese people decide, you know what, let's fuck this and like attack and hold like a revolution, which I feel like America would fund, like help, but pretend not to help.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened at the beginning of World War II.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm pretty sure they also like took Cubans and like trained them in like with like military wise,
Are
and
you
then
talking
they just
about like
sent them.
that was like during the Cold War?
Yeah, during the Cold War, exactly. And then they sent the Cuban soldiers, and the Cubans all died.
Yeah.
Yes, like I mean, throughout history, America has like secretly funded these revolutions, and done some dirty stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Yes. I mean, we were talking about like secret experiments that they did. They did fund like a lot of interesting things because they thought that it would help protect us. It didn't really, but they
Yeah,
thought.
I think America, like in those movies where like the bad guys always, or like the government, they always go like, America doesn't want this. They want security. And then they like use that reason to, like attack people or like do bad stuff. But it's not far off. Like America, or the NSA, you like spy on you through your cameras
Yep.
for quote unquote security
Yeah,
reasons.
no, it's
And
proven.
yeah, exactly. Snowden proved it. He told everyone, and everyone seems to not care about it as much. Like, this is a huge issue with
That is the
privacy stuff.
problem. My God, nobody cares. They just
They're
don't.
just
They're like,
like,
oh, what?
oh,
They're like, whatever. It's not actually affecting me, so it's fine. It doesn't matter as long as it doesn't affect me. But that's the number one problem with our mentality as people:
yeah. Because
selfishness.
right now, it's not gonna do anything. But like, what if the government decided to be like, well, we're not a Democrat anymore. We're gonna use blackmail the entire world using the footage we have on you, and like they have stuff on us and they can monitor us all the time. That means like I'm sleeping in a pretty much a nationwide prison. Like a size of the America is just a prison for everyone. We're always being like watched, and if we do something they have recorded.
Yeah,
Exactly, like it's like, why?
I don't know,
Yeah, I
man.
don't. It's yeah. It's that's the big issue. And like, and the people that want to hurt us know like about that, right? So they like make sure they're off the grid. So the only thing there, like the NSA is watching, are just normal Americans doing everyday stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
Let's go to
problem.
the next. Go to the next topic,
Yeah,
since
move on from
we went
government.
on a huge, yeah. Um, article. The second article is gonna be about KSI leaving Twitter.
Yes,
This is not really,
a big
like
deal, but it's a big
a
deal. It's not a big deal.
yeah. It's I guess it has some implications of what society has become. So
Yes.
KSI leaves Twitter because of one thing: cancel culture. So Crank Gameplays was being attacked for laughing at a joke and commenting on a person who wore a KKK outfit. Crank Gameplays apologized for the comment on saying that the person was pretty ballsy for wearing the KKK outfit. And so KSI responded by saying, quote, "This is getting ridiculous, man. I'm black and your comment didn't offend me at all. Why are people making you apologize? What's going on? What is this world I'm living in? Can one not comment about anything anymore?" And that's the end quote. KSI was also recently scrutinized for saying quote unquote, well, no, actually, it's not a quote unquote, it's just tranny. He said tranny, which was an offensive slur. A ton of people on Twitter didn't accept KSI's apology. Twitter became, too toxic for KSI and he left. So, do you agree with what Twitter has done in like forcing Crank Gameplays to apologize, and how they forced KSI to apologize, and even when he apologized they didn't accept that apology. So, what do
Well,
you think?
see, that's the never-ending problem is that people are incredibly sensitive. So what ends up happening, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
you say something that is mildly like not. It's just like a little bit off from the political correctness. It's a political correctness problem that just nobody can say anything without being scrutinized for it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so like yeah, no, I don't see this as a problem. I don't see the original comment as being a problem. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess like saying tranny is a little derogatory, but like if you apologize for it and it's sincere, and then I don't see a
Mm-hmm.
reason, say I'm not going to do it again. Hold them to it. But I don't see a
Mm-hmm.
reason to continue berating somebody when it's when they say they're going to change, or they say have changed, and if there's no like further evidence that they're doing stuff like that, then I don't. Why are you continuing to berate them? I don't get it. It makes no sense
I
to me.
think I think cancel culture has become more of like obviously some people are mad because they have right to be mad. For example, if somebody said tranny, right, and or like a chink, like they called some like me a chink, and then they go like, "Oh, I didn't know." I'd be mad at first, but if they genuinely didn't know and they apologized, you should let it go. Especially because KSI or JJ didn't know that it was a slur. He apologizes saying, "Oh, I didn't know." I mean, if he says it again, you can genuinely scrutinize him and like attack him. But
Yeah,
like he
exactly.
didn't mean it. And for crank gameplays, he just said that somebody was pretty ballsy for wearing the KKK outfit. He wasn't putting this man saying, "Oh, this guy's a hero," or like he didn't mean it
Yeah,
in
that
like a racist
yeah that
message.
yeah that one I really don't get. I don't know what it. I just don't understand why people would freak
And
out
I
over something
think
like
KSI
that.
is right. Like KSI is right. He says like he's black and he didn't take offense to this. I think like JJ says this a bit later that a ton of people like especially like people that it's supposed to offend aren't offended by it. For example, if they were talking about the KKK, shouldn't the black community be mad about it? Yet
Yeah,
they weren't the majority, or they weren't even there to scrutinize crank gameplays. It was like these white knights and like these social like justice warriors or whatever that come in and like berate this person, and I feel like some of them obviously are there to like make themselves look better than others. Like they're there to be like, "Ha, I'm the right one and you're wrong."
yeah,
It's kind of putting themselves into on top of like that moral pedestal, and it's first of all that's the whole issue with cancel culture. It's like they know that these people don't actually mean what like that's not what they mean. Like when KSI said that word, he didn't actually want to offend anyone. Neither did Crank Gameplays. And I think that's the whole issue is they don't care about that. The fact that you did it is what makes them mad when in fact that's not their intention. I think you should like point it out and quote unquote cancel these people if they intended to do or intended to offend somebody.
yeah,
I don't think, yeah, it's like cancel culture is just like this wild dog that's just waiting for somebody to make one mistake and just starts biting and like attacking that person if they make one mistake.
yeah.
And I think yeah, cancel culture is terrible. And okay, I know I'm going off like
No, no,
on
no.
my own,
Go,
but
go for it.
like I don't like it when people start bringing up things that have been like 3 years or even more stuff like a while back and bringing it up and saying, "Ha, see, you see this? You should be canceled for it." Like, dude,
Oh
it's
yeah,
three
yeah.
years. Like they
Hmm.
can change. Obviously, you should, if you found that, you should don't cancel him, but be like, okay, I know about this about him, so he needs to be careful and kind of, keep a close eye on that person. Don't actually attack the guy
Yeah.
because like it's ridiculous when people bring stuff up like 10 years ago and go like, see this, you said something racist, so I'm gonna assume that you're still that person and I'm going to attack you and raise a petition to cancel you, ruin that entire person's life essentially.
Hmm.
And I think and it's even worse on Twitter because everyone is connected now, right? From
Yeah.
all over the world. And like obviously these social justice warriors or these white knights all band together to shame these celebrities or shame these public figures because it makes them feel not better, right?
Hmm.
And I that's no, like, no, don't do that. It's just why you're just ruining somebody's life. And they don't understand that. They just want to feel good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like if it's reasonable and they actually meant it, then attack them. But it's usually not celebrities who do this intentionally.
Yeah.
So cancel culture is like to attack these celebrities or like just people in general so that they can feel better.
Hmm.
And like that's you know that's pretty much my rant on cancel culture.
No, I mean it's fair. I mean, I agree. I don't understand. Yeah, especially with like the idea of people like bringing up things that have been months or years in the past. I feel like at that point it's just not a credible thing unless you're using it as further evidence for something that's happened more recently. Like I can't. That just doesn't. There's not enough credibility to something like that when it's something that old. Like, because clearly, if they haven't done it like since, they've clearly learned from it to a degree where they're not saying it anymore. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, especially if it was like a one-off thing, which it seems like with this stuff, like with KSI and Crank gameplays, even it seems like
Mm-hmm.
this is one-off stuff. Again, the Crank gameplays thing is really a stretch in general, but like
Yeah.
yeah, there needs to be some kind of consistency before you can like start to say, okay, this person needs to stop. Like if they don't realize it on their own, then then you can take action and say you need to stop. But
Yeah.
you can't just immediately you can, but it's wrong to just immediately like start berating someone for making a single mistake, especially if it's their first time.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna go on a commercial break
Yes.
because I need water and bathroom.
Same. Same.
Hell yeah.
And
Uh,
so yeah, be right back.
Here's wild excitement for every food shopper. Wowie, it's wild. Look, now every A&P store has become A&P WEO, W-E-O, where economy originates. It's a brand new concept. You shop in a modern supermarket with wild warehouse prices. Same fine quality, prices better than discount. Many A&P prices are lower than a year ago. Shop A&P WEO. Let wild warehouse prices slash your food costs drastically. Switch to A&P WEO and save.
And we are back.
yeah, hope you guys like that ad.
It was great. I know I
Yeah,
love
it's
it.
pretty epic. So back to what we were talking about, we were talking about how cancel culture was toxic and all that. So Tyler, your opinion?
Well, no, I kind of said my piece with it. I feel like again,
Mhm.
if you're going to even consider quote unquote canceling someone or just calling it out, I feel like there needs to be a consistent um like consistent cases of it happening. You can't just immediately after one time, especially if it doesn't happen again, just going on and starting to berate someone or getting a crowd to berate people. And it's even worse if it's one time that was like a long time ago, whether that be months or years. It's just not credible. Like the majority, the thing is that this is a loud minority of people. The majority of people find these people who cancel people to be just ridiculous or
Well,
cringe.
it's also because a lot of people like comedians. A lot of them kind of make fun of internet in that way. It's like before internet, all these like people that have like stupid ideas or get offended by the smallest things could never connect with each other because of the internet. There was no internet before, so the
Yeah,
majority would just think they're weird, and they would be quiet. So the stupid people would just shut up. But because of internet, now all these stupid people can meet up with each other, and then they validate each other in a way, be like, yeah, you're right, and then they all these idiots all come together and berate other people.
yeah. No, that is basically it. Or it's just people who feel like they want attention, like they'll get attention out of it because
Well, but it's not more like attention, it's more like they feel like they're the right,
well
like they're
they
in the
do.
right, and
Yeah, they
yeah, then
do.
they shame other people and they feel like yeah, I did it. Like, like they feel better about themselves when they do it.
That's
There
what they
are, I mean,
think. That's
see,
what they
like,
think.
well, yeah, that's what they think. But it's like this. If somebody said something that is racist, that's a racist specifically to Asian people, and all the Asian people get mad, that makes sense. But when an like when somebody speaks ill of like or makes fun of Asian, like make an Asian joke, right?
Uh
And no Asian
huh.
like feel like at all like attacked by it,
Right.
and then there's like these bunch of social justice warriors coming in and being offended for the Asian people, that's where I find an issue.
Right.
Don't be offended for me. If I'm offended, I will
Right.
say why I'm offended.
There's a great video.
Obviously,
Sorry, yeah, you
yeah.
can finish. No,
No,
finish,
it's a
finish.
yeah, it's what I'm yeah, this is my like finishing thought is like obviously even in a joke there's going to be overly sensitive Asian people that take that like as an offense. That's when other Asian people should come and say, "Hey, idiot, that's not why you should be offended. It's just a joke." When
Yeah,
it becomes something where the majority of the community that has been attacked gets mad about it, that's when you can say, "Okay, this is where I can get mad." If you're an idiot and don't get why, then just shut the hell up.
yeah. No, I completely agree. There's actually a really great video. It's really funny. Do you know Uncle Al, the YouTuber Uncle Al?
No,
Oh my
unfortunately.
god, it's great. So basically, he does like he's kind of like a voice actor, and he does SpongeBob parodies, kind of, where like he'll
Mhm.
do he's very good at like almost all the voices on the show, and he did an episode like he does parody episodes of the show, and one of them was I forget what it was called, but it was about Mr. Krabs getting canceled, and it was really fun. And no, it was like literally exactly like like the series of events that happens. Like one person finds like a
Mhm.
tweet from you know 2 or 3 years ago. It was Plankton,
Yeah.
obviously, because it's SpongeBob, and
Mhm.
like he notifies other people about it. He gets like a crowd riled up about it, and then
Mhm.
like they start sending mean tweets to Mr. Krabs, and they start like not going to the Krusty Krab and all this stuff. And then like
That's unfortunate.
and I believe and the like the tweet was apparently like quote unquote being racist towards squids. And then like Squidward literally steps in front of the angry mob and is like, "I'm not offended by it, so why are you offended by it?" And then the crowd is like, "That makes too much sense. Let's start making fun of both of them."
Yeah, see, that's the thing. They have like this mob mentality where like they can't think for themselves, so they just listen to the like the terrible social like what society tells them is right, and then they go, "Yeah, that's right," and then they just walk in and just attack people mindlessly.
Yeah. And the best part of that episode, or that little short, it's like 3 minutes long, 3 minutes long, was that at the end they're like, "Oh, now we're bored of canceling Mr. Krabs and Squidward. Let's go cancel Plankton now because he did something stupid a long time ago." It's like just this cycle, and then at the end, Plankton's like, "It's only funny when it happens to other people," and that's exactly right.
Hmm.
I mean, like the message is coded in like funny SpongeBob jokes, but it's very
Yeah,
very
it has
accurate to
like
what happens.
yeah, it has like it's a commentary on how our society is working. Like,
You should watch
um,
Uncle Al. It's great. I'll send you the thing.
all right, yeah, definitely, I'll watch that. Sounds fun. One last question, and we'll round this section up. Is why do you think Twitter is like specifically the most toxic? Because I don't
Uh,
actually use Twitter,
I
so
don't
I
either.
don't know. Like, oh well,
So
that's unfortunate. Next
no,
question.
no. Like I can answer it. I could probably answer it.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
So from what I understand, it's probably a case of like I don't know. With Twitter, there's less personal. It's not as personal of a platform at all, actually.
Yeah.
So and y- Twitter is not really like sharing photos or it's literally just you could just say your thoughts and it's
Mhm.
just public to everybody. So
Yeah.
like someone sees it and then and, you know how things spread. It's as simple as that.
Yeah. Exactly. That's
Um,
the issue, I think.
yeah, no,
Yeah,
the
we're
platform is
gonna
just designed for like spreading
to be
thoughts.
cut. See, I think it's a double-edged sword in that it allows you to connect with everyone, yet it also makes like you these like you can connect with idiots as well.
Yeah,
So like people like monkey brain will meet other monkey brain and they will come together and be even more monkey brain.
yeah,
Yeah, and that's my final thoughts. We're gonna wrap this section up, go to the next one.
yep. Okay, so section two is going to be my favorite thing to talk about, and of course that is video games. So I got a bit of gaming news here. Some. It's been a bit of a slow week, but there's been a couple of funny a couple funny things happen. First thing is everybody's favorite disappointment, Cyberpunk 2077. There's a bit of news about it that I find interesting that we could talk about. So there's there's talk that because that game, at least on the PS4, was a literal nightmare, just unplayable to the point where it actually had to be taken off uh, the PlayStation Store. So there's talk that they're getting close to a return on the PlayStation Store. The other thing is that they're reconsidering whether they're even going to implement the multiplayer feature, which they had initially promised. So the first thing I want to know is, have you played Cyberpunk?
No, I
No.
watch a lot of people play it. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of people complain about how it's glitchy and all that.
Yeah, it's literally a buggy mess.
Mhm.
Yeah, I haven't played it either. I know people who've played it. They said it was fine, but they were playing on PC, so that's apparently the most stable version of the game. um,
As it should be, because PC's the best.
yeah, I would have to say so. At least for I mean, unless it's like Nintendo, yeah, it's not relevant.
Well,
Anyway,
yeah, but Nintendo you can't really do on
so
on PC.
considering the amount of backlash that this game got, do you think Project Red deserve a second chance with this game, especially like being allowed on last gen consoles?
Hmm.
Do you think the game? Do you think CD Project Red deserves a second chance? Basically,
Yes. I mean, they hyped it all up.
yeah, they did
Like they
certainly did.
hyped it so hard, and then it was inevitably too hype that they couldn't meet up with that expectation. So yeah, I feel like they should try it again. Obviously, I mean, Cyberpunk has been, it's been I think 10 years, right? It's been 10 years
It was
since they're
something like, yeah, 7 or 8. It was
yeah, like
closing in.
hyping it up, saying like, "Oh, Cyberpunk's coming out," and they were like, uh, yeah, they were like saying, "Oh, it's gonna be like one of the best games ever," or whatever, right? And
Yep.
then it became kind of like this flop, and I don't know. It's like I hope they do better. I guess, right?
Yeah.
Is all I can say.
And another kind of issue was, so this game was essentially removed from last gen consoles. Do you think it's worth it for them to even try putting it back on last gen consoles when the PS5 and Xbox Series X are already out? Because I don't.
Hmm. I don't think so, cause I mean the game is such. Is it a big game? I
It's
don't
a
know. I
big
mean,
game and it's a very graphically intensive game.
exactly. So I feel like the reason why the PS5 and the Xbox series, or just the Xbox itself, can't handle Cyberpunk is because Cyberpunk is just such a large game, and like the graphics has to be like super like amazing, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think consoles specifically can do that. Like gaming PCs specifically are made so they can handle this game. And
Hmm.
even when PC is used, it's still
It's
shoddy.
still,
It's still
yeah.
like yeah, it's still very like
It doesn't
messed
fix
up.
the
It's not
bugs.
fully
It doesn't
yeah,
fix the bugs at
exactly.
all. No.
So I think what Cyberpunk needs to be is rather than focusing on making it cross-platform where that you can play like on the PS5 or the Xbox or the PC, they should just focus on the PC since this game is way too big for it to be handled on the console and just focus it on the PC version and just, polish it as much as they can and redo the things that, are completely flawed.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think so as well. I mean, I understand that, especially like the PS4 has a very large install base, like a lot. There's literally over 100 million of them. So I get that they're gonna think like, oh, we're kind of losing out on on like a big part of the market. But it's a market that already has seen that your product is not up to par. So I don't know. I mean, like the PS5, in my opinion, the PS5 and Xbox Series X are able to run this game. Um,
I mean,
like
I mean
they
that's the
have the
thing though.
hardware.
Yeah, they can do it, but it's the question of they be on par with the PC.
Well, no, it's basically impossible for a console to do that economically. Like it'll look good on like a PS5, I think, but on the PS4, it's kind of scary.
Yeah.
Um, but that kind of leads me into the question of, because I also mentioned that they're reconsidering whether they want to implement multiplayer. Do you think that multiplayer is worth it considering the
Okay.
reception of the
First
game?
of all, they can't. It took them more than 5 years to develop this game and make it, right? And now they're adding something that will take even more time.
Yeah,
I think one if you can't finish the base, you should never build the house. Make the foundation perfect, then build the house. And they're trying to build a house on top of a broken foundation.
yeah,
So I don't think they should be adding things on. They should be fixing the game first.
yeah,
Fix the game, polish it, release it, and then once it's well received, you can like create a or update the game in a way that you can play other stuff. Like you can make it, and you can add on a multiplayer game, right? Like you know what I'm saying.
yeah. No, I completely. Yeah, it. I don't know. I
I
don't think
mean,
it's worth it.
even if they do make a multiplayer game, it's gonna be hard since Wi-Fi is going to be shoddy. Not only that, like the graphics itself is so intense. It's really hard for like a console or like a PC to even run a multiplayer game.
Yeah, I can definitely see them running into problems. I also I don't think it's really worth it because the install base of the game is not that high. Um, Not to mention that it already has bad reception, so you're not gonna get new people playing this game. Because if there's one thing that this game did right to most people, it was the story. It wasn't the gameplay or the graphics or the world. It was the story. So if you literally remove the one good thing about the game and make it multiplayer, I assume they'd try something like GTA Online where it's just like everybody messing around in the city. I can't
Mhm.
see that being good
Yeah,
or
I mean,
successful.
for me, when I watch them play, when YouTubers play Cyberpunk feels like this controlled sandbox rather than it actually being a pure sandbox.
Yeah.
Like there are specific things you can't even do. Um, from watching it, it feels like everything's fixed in their place. Like not everything is able to freely move.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean the multiplayer thing. If they were to do it like GTA Live, I mean not GTA Live, like GTA. What's it called?
Online?
Online. It's not gonna work that well
No,
because
I don't think so either.
GTA like online or like multiplayer is like a pure sandbox. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah. And there's a lot to do, even if you don't want to just like mess around. They give you a lot of things to do. And considering how long it took to develop Cyberpunk, which wasn't an incredibly long game, like it was long, but it wasn't really that long. I could easily see them like they're like, oh, we're gonna add like some multiplayer missions or something, and then it's just like maybe 2 or 3 hours of content. uh, and then you add in that it's not really a great sandbox to mess around in. I just I don't see it being very successful. And I understand, and it makes sense that they would question whether they even want to do the multiplayer. But then again, I'm pretty sure they promised that they would, so it would ruin their reputation even more if they just didn't. I don't know. It's a double edged sword.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. We want to go to the next thing.
Well, one more thing is, do you think you would give the game a second chance if they were to fix it and implement multiplayer, and let's say it's actually half decent?
I mean, I wouldn't buy this game on because I can't play first person shooters. As I said before, I've never liked. I mean, I like it. Like I play Call of Duty. I played PUBG. I've played like these games where it's first person shooter, but I've never seen the appeal for Cyberpunk in my
No,
own
me neither.
opinion.
Me neither.
I mean I love the fact they use the pumps, the asthma pumps as healing items, which is hilarious to me. It's so funny,
Hmm.
but I don't know. I don't feel like I want to play it. Like when I play Breath of the Wild, which you know is a completely different game, but I didn't buy it once it was released. I like watched other people play it and I wanted to play it. I was like, "Oh, dude, that'd be so cool. I want to play this game." That's
Yeah.
why I bought it. But when I watch Cyberpunk, I'm just like, this is it. This is not fun. Like I didn't find it fun.
Yeah.
It was just like just a futuristic gun game, and I was just like, yeah, that's just not my. I didn't like it. Yeah.
Well, you see, that's the problem. Is like, yeah, as a video game, it's not that great. The gameplay is apparently subpar, and
Mhm.
it's kind of broken. So yeah, I don't I wouldn't really want to play it. I didn't really care for. I also kind of think it's not necessarily like graphically a bad game, but it's just kind of
Mhm.
an ugly looking game. Like the
Yeah.
art style is, or not really the art style because it's photorealistic, but like the idea, it's just kind of ugly looking to me. Like I don't really like looking at it. It's just not like visually appealing to me at all. And that's not saying that the graphics aren't great or the effects aren't good or the sound isn't great. I just think like the actual art style or the art direction just made the
I
game
mean,
look ugly.
mm, for me, I mean, I was confused in why they made it like a Japanese style game. That threw me off a little bit. I was like, like Blade Runner. You know that movie, right?
Yeah.
Was also like Japanese based futuristic, and I was like, but why Japan? Like, why is it always Japanese things? Is there something in Japan that I'm missing that makes it so that it's like the best place to make it a futuristic like area? Like I'm
I don't know.
very confused on that. Like now I feel like whenever I see a futuristic game, I'm gonna be like, oh, it's gonna be another Japanese oriented like city or like society, right?
Mhm.
Which is great having quote unquote diversity, but I've never seen a Chinese, Korean, Vietnam, like I don't see diversity in this by saying that, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I
I
want to see a mix of different cultures rather than just a giant city that's based on Japan.
yeah.
Like it would be like in the future, realistically, I mean it's not going to be like every culture is going to merge into this one culture, right? But I want to see like different cities with different areas of ethnicity.
Yeah.
Because in the future, I don't know if this is in America. Is this American, like the setting?
I
Is it like in
I think so. I think
because
that's the idea.
a lot of people say America is like a melting pot, which it's not. It's not a melting
It
pot.
used
It's
to
what
be.
you no, I mean it's arguably because what I've always believed is America has was a salad, right? The like you can't actually melt it and mix everyone together. That's not how that works. Everyone's culture is different and respectively they are left alone. And so that's why it's a salad where you can mix it and eat it together, but they're all different.
Yeah.
So that should have been portrayed in the game where it's like yeah you can adventure into different parts of the city where there's different ethnicities and different types of things you could do, but instead it's just all Japanese and katanas and shit.
Yeah.
It was yeah I was like
I
this
don't
is
know.
another just it's just like Blade Runner except I can play it.
Yeah, also, I feel like the whole dystopia, and I know that this was based off like a series of books or graphic novels. I don't really remember, but it was based off of a previous IP. It wasn't original, so I know that this isn't technically the fault of the game, but I'm kind of tired of the dystopian future game that it seems everybody makes now. Like, I mean, I know
Mhm.
Fallout is kind of like that, and yeah, it is.
I like it. No, so I like the futuristic games that are pretend to be utopian, but it like you find out later it's dystopian.
Yeah,
I like those games. Those games, I think it's a good twist when it came out. But
Mm-hmm.
now it has become this like recyclable content
Yeah,
where
it
it's
is.
like everyone seems to have a perfect life, and then all of a sudden like they get to see flashes of like what the real world actually looks like, and then they start freaking out. Like I'm pretty sure you have you seen the game where it's like you play as this like censorship guy, and you like eat pills all the time, and like you
No.
see like the happy version of the world. Okay, so it's like this game, right? And you play this character who like eats pills all the time, and like this pill actually makes you super happy all the time, and
Uh-huh.
then it makes the world look so much better than it actually is. So then he stops eating this pill, right? And then he starts to see like what it really like what the real world is like, and like he's invited to this party, and they force feed him the pill, and then they're eating the cake, and then the pill starts to wear off, and then he realizes he's actually eating a dead rat.
Oh.
Yeah, so like and then he starts running away from this compound, which is like this inside city where they all live in, like this
Uh-huh.
perfect utopia, and he leaves, and then like, the story goes on. But the whole idea was it was suspiciously super happy, and it was like a boring game, but then all of a sudden like, there's a twist. But everyone's doing that now, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not, it's boring now if you keep doing it. It's
Mm-hmm.
like it's like two or three times, yeah, it's pretty cool, but now I expect it when it seems weird that everyone's suspiciously happy, then yeah, I'm gonna expect there's a twist that everyone is living a terrible life.
Yeah. No, it's kind of an overdone trope, like the dystopian future, whether it be an illusion or not,
Mm-hmm.
or just games set in a future where like, because realistically, in is it 2021 now, so that would be in 56 years. Now, a lot can happen in 56 years, but we're not going to be where that game has set us. And again, I know it's a previous IP, but like the idea of the entire world being a desert or whatever, because that's also a thing. Like all of these IPs set the world either like in a destroyed city or in a desert. Like, there's going to be other habitats in this world. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's weird.
I don't know. I think. Do you have anything else to add? Because I'm going to move on.
Uh, no, yeah, I don't have anything else to add on that.
So, other gaming news is that not really news, but kind of a bit of a PSA. That's what Game Informer told me, at least. Um, so, Super Mario 3D All Stars and Super Mario Bros. 35 will be delisted from their respective retail stores at the end of April. So, um, uh,
Wait, what are they doing?
they're removing them from sale.
What game?
Super Mario 3D All Stars and Super Mario Bros. 35.
Oh shoot, I should buy that soon.
See, there you go. Here's the thing, right? So I remember when they announced those games in like September, and
Mm-hmm.
they said that they were going to have like an artificial end date of when they're available for sale, and people got
Mm-hmm.
really upset about it.
Yeah.
Obviously, the game still sold incredibly well because it's a Mario game, but
Mm-hmm.
like, do you think it's right for these games to be removed not only from the physical shelves, but they're also being removed from like the eShop? Do you think it's right for them to remove it from the eShop? Like,
I mean, it is a business tactic where they go like, this is limited, you have to buy it now, and then it's gonna be gone, and like it makes people buy it more. But I
I
also
know.
feel like it's cutting off more potential audience or like people who want to play it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I feel like maybe they should make it like annually, like limited, where like it comes back annually, right? On like a specific date and like time period.
Yeah. I just
Cause
don't.
like
Sorry.
yeah, the whole okay, customer wise, like yes, it's a terrible idea. Like for us, it's like why? Like we want it forever, like like we want it on the eShop so we can buy it or experience it whenever we feel like it.
Yeah.
And it feels terrible that these companies are just doing whatever with these games. But if you think of it in a business perspective, first of all, it's their game. They can do whatever they want, right?
Mm-hmm.
Second is it's a business tactic in a way that I mean, companies do this all the time where it's like this is limited. come buy it now, or it's too late, and they like up the price even more because they know people are gonna buy it.
Yep.
So it's a business plan, but I feel like for like these such popular games, instead of like making it limited, they should make it like limited every year, where it's um like on a specific day, like on, let's say, Nintendo's birthday, right?
Hmm.
Or Nintendo's like anniversary, they like put it on for like a week, where like they put it on the eShop for a week, and like you can buy it now, and then it disappears after that 1 week, and they can do it annually. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Then newcomers can come in and be like, yeah, I'll buy this, and then there's more people that can buy it, and it's never like a permanent thing. So like you can expect it, like, oh, if you missed it, you can wait for another year and buy it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's.
I think.
I mean, also, like, this was a really bad PR mistake because
Mhm.
the game was already not great. Like, as a compilation, 3D All Stars is it's fine, but it's not ideal. It's really not what people wanted out of a an All Stars game because like
Yeah,
the
I mean Mario
previous
64, they fixed all the glitches, which were like a big thing about it.
yeah, I mean, well, one of the big issues is that they're emulating the game. It's not running natively on the system. It's running through an emulator. Um, also, like with the original Super Mario All Stars, which came out in like 1995, I guess, for Mario's 10th anniversary. Um,
Hmm.
like they completely remade like the first four Mario games into the most updated art style, which I guess was Super Mario World at the time. And like that was like a big deal. Like they actually updated the original games and they looked way better. And they added a couple things here and there, whatever. But with this game, no, they just released the original games and updated a couple things that had to be done because the game, like Super Mario 64 is over 20 years old. So I don't know. It wasn't a great compilation. Put
Hmm.
on top of that, they made it like limited time and created artificial demand. So eh.
Yeah, I get what you mean though. Yeah, it sucks.
Also, I'm not even mentioning Super Mario 35, which is like the like Tetris 99, but like with Mario,
Hmm.
which is debatably had more effort put into it than Super Mario All Stars or Super Mario 3D All Stars. Like they put more effort
Yeah.
into their little online only game than their big, Super Mario Anniversary release, which I find hilarious. But like that game, when it's delisted from the eShop or whatever, you're
Yeah,
never going to be able to play it again. There's no physical release of it, and
that's
and
an
it's
L.
and it's not a matter of like it'll stay in your library if you have no, it's going away. It was a free like little thing,
Hmm.
so it'll be you'll never be able to play it again unless they re-release it, which they might, but I kind of doubt it because it wasn't like a huge deal. There was just kind of a little add-on.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah,
Nintendo, they keep doing this crap, this horrible PR stuff, but they know it doesn't matter because people will buy it anyway.
yeah. That's the sad part here, that we're getting royally screwed
But we'll buy
by
it anyway.
Nintendo.
We're gonna buy it anyway. I mean, this is the
Yeah.
problem. Like, remember over the summer there was like a ton of well, not even over the summer, but like towards the end of last year, there were a lot of like Smash Bros. Controversies. Remember, like with
Oh yeah.
tournaments.
Yeah, that was annoying.
And they did it like multiple times and it's like and nobody I mean they cared but they didn't care enough to not buy the new Animal Crossing when it came out. Or actually that was after that, but like they didn't care enough to not buy new Nintendo games when they came out. Their sales are still perfectly fine. The Switch sales are perfectly fine. The stock
I
is
mean, that's also
fine.
just that's just overall like the internet's like memory capacity also. The internet gets really intense for 1 week. You write that out, it's gone. They
Yeah.
forget about it and they go into another controversy.
Yeah,
So I think the internet itself, it's just memory capacity is just like a week or like 2 weeks. And
it's
if it's like
very true.
really serious, it's 3 weeks.
You're gonna be upset for more than 2 weeks, and you're
Yeah,
gonna
I mean,
hate it.
like for James Charles thing, it was. I mean, obviously
I
that was
remember
like
that.
James Charles. I don't think James Charles was like the he was more like a
He
victim
was
as
a
well. But in
scapegoat.
that,
He was a scapegoat for
yeah,
that whole thing.
yeah, like for Tati, when they realized that Tati was like this two-faced person, they got mad at her for 2 weeks. They forgot about it, and only like a minor, like the minority was like still mad at her for it, and she like kind of I think she left YouTube for a little bit,
Uh huh.
saying that I need time for myself, and now everyone has forgotten about her.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens. And I mean, Nintendo. Honestly, okay. So this is a very, very controversial opinion, but I think this is. I know that the Switch is selling really well. So, like, as a company, Nintendo is incredibly successful right now. But I
Yeah.
actually think the Switch era is one of Nintendo's worst.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Why
that
do you think that?
so several reasons. Now, so Smash Bros, Breath of the Wild, which I'll actually get into a technicality about Breath of the Wild in a second, but like Smash Bros, Odyssey, Animal Crossing to a degree, it's debatably better than the last one, but it removed a lot of stuff that I like personally from the last. Whatever. Those games, they're great. They're very good games. But well, here's something. Breath of the Wild was it's actually a Wii U game that was ported onto the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm actually going to count it as a Wii U game. I've always kind of considered it a Wii U game because I remember when like they announced it that it was happening and they were like, "Oh yeah, it's going to be on
Yeah.
the Wii U," and I'm like, "Oh wow, okay, cool." And they're like, "Oh well, it'll still be on the Wii U, but we're just not going to talk about it. We're going to talk about being on our new console," which is okay. That's fine. They've done that with Zelda before.
Yeah.
They did that with I think Twilight Princess or something. But
Mm.
think about it. Think about the amount of new games from Nintendo, like new games, not ports, new games that have come out from Nintendo. The,
Super Smash Ultimate,
yep,
Mario Odyssey,
yep.
um, Dragon Ball, I think was one as well. I
From
mean, that's not
Nintendo.
Nintendo.
Yeah, I was gonna say from
Oh,
Nintendo,
Nintendo
first party.
Inkling one, Splatoons
A
maybe. I don't
Splatoon
know.
2, sure. I'll give it to you.
Sure. Um,
Just thought of another one. There was one called Arms. They did Arms. Remember that?
oh my God, let's not talk about ARMS, bro. That's like PTSD.
Was a first
The
party IP
fact that
though.
they put that in Super Smash Ultimate is a questionable decision, but whatever. Yeah, ARMS is one of them. Oh yeah, the exercise wheel thing. You know what I'm talking
Ring
about?
Fit Adventure.
Yeah, that's there's four right there.
That's four. I can name more than 10 on the Wii U. See, that's the
Well,
problem.
well, okay. So I think what Nintendo was going for is like like a console, like almost like no. Listen. So like not like a console where it's like exclusively only for Nintendo, but like Nintendo and other stuff. I think they prided themselves in the fact that they can get like other indie gamers. I mean not indie gamer, indie developers. Um, or like third party games or like Xbox games be able to be played on the Nintendo. Cause like
Yeah.
I remember specifically Nintendo promoting their indie game
Yeah,
developers.
I know. They do like Nindies or whatever it's called.
Yeah, exactly. So I think their whole point wasn't to make their own games. I think it was just to be diverse and be able to chuck as many stuff into their game as possible.
Yeah, I don't know. I still think the Wii U era was actually better in terms of games because um that's another issue I have with the Switch era is that the majority of the Nintendo titles are are Wii U ports, or now they're doing Wii ports, which I find is interesting. And they're pricing them higher than they were as Wii games 10 years ago. And I'm specifically talking about Skyward Sword, but like come on. If you're going to release a 10-year-old Wii game, 10 years old, you're going to price it $10 higher than it was initially released on the Wii for? Like, what do you do? And people are going to buy it, but like, and that wasn't even that great of a game. Oh, also,
Yeah.
I actually did just remember another good Switch game was the Link's Awakening remake. That was a good game.
Hmm.
And technically, you could say the new Pokemon, but those were not very good games.
But that's not Nintendo, is it?
I
That's Game
mean,
Freak.
it's like second party. I
Yeah,
consider
but
it.
that's also no. Okay, so if we're talking about second party, then yeah, there's a ton of Pokemon games that came out, but I don't count them
Yeah, no, you're
because they're
right.
not
You're
they're
right.
not because they're not solely from Nintendo. It's
I know. Yeah,
from a partner, like a longtime partnered studio.
yeah, I
Like
know.
Game
It's
Freak
Game Freak. Yeah,
is its own. Yeah,
I know. I
we
know. I
get
know. I was trying to give the Switch another one, but um,
now we can't do that. That's cheating.
but see, like that's what I'm saying. I can name a lot of actually good Wii U games that were first party from Nintendo, or just more in general. Some of them weren't necessarily good, but like New Super Mario Bros. U ported to the Switch, Pikmin 3 ported to the Switch, Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze ported to the Switch, Splatoon. I mean, it didn't.
Wait, Donkey Kong Country was imported to the Switch?
Yeah, a Tropical Freeze. Yeah,
Oh my god, I need
yeah.
to buy that.
Yeah, and well, I guess if you never had it on the Wii U, I understand why they wanted to do this, like to put Wii U games on the Switch. It was to give them a chance at life because they didn't have a chance on the Wii U. But like, you need to balance out your ports and your new titles because they're relying way too heavily on ports. Like Super Mario 3D World port, 3D All Stars ports, and not even good ports at that. Um, you know what I mean? It's a
Yes, I
lot.
do
It's a lot of
understand.
ports, man. It's a lot of ports. A lot of ports. They ported like every good Wii U game, which is fine. I mean, technically, Breath of the Wild is a port, but no one remembers that it was on the Wii U. But it was Mario Kart 8, one of the best-selling Switch games. It was a port. It was a Wii U port. The funny thing about that game was that if people thought it was a Wii game when it originally came out, so it sold better than the Wii U did. I think initially.
That's funny. I like that. That's
I
funny.
find that yeah, no, I mean that's pretty fun. Mario Maker, technically not a port, but it's basically the same game, and then they updated it later. Uh,
Yeah.
you know, yeah, it's just it's kind of
It's yeah, we understand that it's an issue.
it's an issue. It's gotta they gotta like Jesus Christ, like
I mean Breath of the Wild 2's coming out, dude.
I know,
I'm hyped for
no,
that.
I
That's
know,
actually
like that.
that's oh wait, Mario, what's it called? Mario 3D, the Bowser's Fury thing.
Yeah, but that's a Wii U port.
No, wait, but like the extension though,
Yeah, but
it's like a
apparently
whole
that's
nother game.
but apparently it's only like 2 hours of content. Apparently, if like you go through it kind of fast, you'll get it done in 40 minutes.
Huh. Can't
So
you like speedrun Mario as well in like 45 minutes or like in an
the
hour as well?
are you talking about like the original or like the game?
Like I'm pretty sure 64 was like super fast, right?
Oh
Like
yeah,
2
yeah,
hours or
yeah,
something.
yeah, yeah. 64. Well,
But
there
yeah,
was so many cool.
but I don't feel like the length of the game. I don't think. I mean, we can't really deny the fact that they made a new, quote unquote game just because it's short, right?
Well, no, I'm not saying that, but is it worth it to spend another $60 on a game that you
I
already
mean, a
own?
lot of people felt that way. Like a lot of people that played it were like, "Whoa, this is actually a decent game," and they enjoyed it. So I mean,
Well, I
I
know.
never got it. So, but a lot of people that actually do gaming for a living thought it was worth it. So
I think my issue, an issue that I probably have, is that they price these games higher or the same retail price when they're 5+ years old with slight changes, if any. Like
yeah,
if you priced your game $40, $30, okay, that's fine. I mean, it's a port of a game that you already created, so it's not like you have to spend money to produce the game. It's already done for you. I just I don't think it's right for them to. I mean, I obviously it's justified because people are still buying these games, but like from my point of view, as someone who has a Wii U, I have no like I didn't buy Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I didn't buy Super Mario Bros. New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. You know, I don't even know why I bought Splatoon 2 because they freaking removed the online and I'm not paying for Nintendo's online service because it's bad. Uh, I'm not gonna buy Pikmin 3 Deluxe. I already have all the DLC on the Wii. Like I don't see a purpose personally to buy it. Like to me, if it was $30, okay, then like the advent of it being portable would be worth it in my opinion. But it's not the way it stands at 60. Also, Nintendo never puts their games on sale, so you never even get a chance of getting it at a good price. That's my rant. That's my TED talk. Thanks for coming.
I love Nintendo. I love it how they screw us over so hard. It's insane.
Yeah. Like I the Wii U era was not good, but my God, was it like? Did they care a little bit
Hey,
more?
no. The Wii was the golden age.
Well,
With
debatably
Wii
the game,
Sports,
in my
Wii Sports,
opinion,
bro. Oh my God.
yeah. No, I know the Wii was it was a thing. It happened. In my opinion, so this is my controversial opinion is that so 2D gaming peaked with the Genesis and the Super Nintendo. 3D gaming peaked with the GameCube and not really the Xbox or the original or the PlayStation 2. Debatably the Xbox because Halo was good, I guess, but the GameCube was 100% the peak of 3D games for Nintendo in my opinion.
Yeah.
I know Galaxy didn't come out until it was on the Wii, but like, it's,
I don't know. I mean, Wii has been with me for so long. So
no,
I
I
mean,
know, I know,
so like to
yeah,
me, I feel like Wii was like, I guess like I have a special like it has a special place in my heart. Obviously, I still have it and I don't play it because I have the Switch and it's so much better. But
yeah.
I think the Wii when it comes to original games, I mean, it beats out like Switch
Oh
no
my
questions
God,
asked.
yeah, 100%.
Exactly. So yeah, I think yeah.
Like, there's just been like, I know the
Oh yeah,
Wii.
Kirby Epic Yarn Bro coming
Oh
out
my
of the
God.
Wii, dude. Hell yeah.
Actually, I was just thinking that like the Wii is kind of a bad example just because it outsold the Switch because it was a huge like that was like a actual. I know that this is gonna be kind of like it was a revolution in a way, and that was the
Yeah,
name of it.
it was like a minor revolution. It wasn't like it exploded the entire world where
It
everyone was like
kind of
freaking
it
out.
did. When it first came out, it like
Really?
yeah, it was a huge deal when it first came out.
I
Like
did not know
it
that.
was a bigger deal than like when the Switch came out and it was impossible to find. Like this was like or it was worse than PS5. Like the PS5 shortages, way worse than that. Like people were legitimately sleeping in stores and waiting. It was like Black Friday, but it never ended.
That's fun. That's
But
insane though.
yeah,
I mean, Tyler, we're gonna play. We're gonna have to play that Wii Sports, bro. Wii Sports is like the best game in Wii.
it's debatably. It was probably the
I mean,
uh,
it did get
in my
sold.
opinion.
It was the sold the most.
Well, I know, but that's because it was packaged with the console.
Damn it! Damn it! I didn't think you would know that.
Yeah, I know that I had one. I opened it on Christmas morning.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like it's whenever you're comparing old Nintendo to new Nintendo, old Nintendo is gonna always beat
It's
new
always,
Nintendo.
always.
Well, and that's also because Nintendo when it was smaller, tried their best, but the more they grow, they know they're gonna get the money.
Yeah.
It's almost guaranteed. So
Well,
they don't try as hard as they did, before.
well.
And
Also, sorry. Yeah, you
yeah,
can finish.
yeah. Well, I wanted to say like obviously it's a gradual like degression of how much they care,
Hmm.
right? It's
Yeah.
not like a huge jump from one year to another. It's like a little by little they just don't give a shit as much anymore. Like you can tell from just like compare our Nintendo Online now and before. It's terrible. It's still terrible.
Yeah, it's
It's
not better, and now you have to pay
yeah,
money.
exactly.
I mean, honestly, like here's the deal. Yeah, like the Wii U online was, but it was free, right?
Yeah.
So
Now you gotta pay money, dude.
you gotta pay money.
Kinda
And I
cringe.
know, I realize that it's only $20 a year or whatever, but like I don't want to pay even $20 a year for a service that is bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Because
get you.
because it's literally just supporting that bad service, and it makes Nintendo feel justified that it's okay. But
Mm.
like I feel like the Wii U era, because it sold so poorly.
Yeah.
Nintendo had to like, also because it was getting like no third party support. Nobody wanted to make a game for this thing.
Uh-huh.
That is why Nintendo had to step up their game and make like actually good games for the Wii U.
Hmm.
Because it was the only way anybody was going to buy it.
Yeah.
Like
I don't know. Yeah.
it put a lot of pressure on Nintendo to make sure that like there was a library of games.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, that's like it's like Nintendo only tries when they know they're at risk of losing money,
yeah,
and they're
well,
like,
yeah,
oh, they're like, I'm to actually try. Then they
yeah.
go crazy. But then yeah, I mean, you told me this off camera, or let's say
Oh,
off off the episode or recording, that Wii U games were actually pretty good. It's just the Wii
yeah.
U itself just wasn't well received.
Well, that's what I was saying it when we were talking about like Wii U games. I can name so many good Wii U games, especially first party ones.
Breath of the Wild is one of
Breath
them.
of the Wild, yes, technically. But okay,
Yeah, I mean,
like I'm not
mhm,
gonna deny that there were bad Wii U games because there were a couple that were like, oh my god. But that's the case
yeah.
with every Nintendo console, in my opinion. So it's always a couple stinkers.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Uh, yeah. Let's go to the next question if there is any
um,
left.
so there really isn't. I mean, like one last thing to wrap up, like the Super Mario All Stars debacle is. Do you see Nintendo doing this in the future, where they're gonna make it a limited time to create artificial demand? Do you see them like because they? I'm sure that game. I
Of
don't know
course
this.
they would. Why would they not? Why would they stop now?
Like
It worked.
I know the sales. Yeah, but like when is it gonna get to the point where they're like, oh my god, people are actually upset?
Probably never until it actually hits their sales.
Yeah, I know.
It's only like you said, it only like in the Wii U, like the console didn't sell, so they start freaking out and start working on it because they could see their sales dropping like crazy.
Yeah,
So I think Nintendo only cares when their sales are dropping or increasing. So if their sales start to drop and we all decide to, hey, let's boycott this thing, then they'll be like, oh damn, we need to try.
yeah.
And usually it's not like one game that we have to boycott. We have to boycott like literally everything. Because let's say we all boycotted Nintendo Online, like
Hmm.
they don't care as much. They're gonna be like, well, we make money from other stuff, so Nintendo Online was more for you guys. So then they can just take that away. You have to like
They're
make
not
such a
gonna take it away
significant,
though. Yeah, it's.
yeah, but like it's more like you have to make such a big dent in their sales that they actually are forced to do something about it,
Hmm.
because just because you boycott one thing doesn't mean you're not gonna, they're not gonna make money.
Yeah. No, it's. I mean,
Like because Wii U, it was literally only like what their sales was terrible for just the
terrible.
console sales in general, and they saw like that huge gap and they're like, there's something we need to do about this, and they did.
Hmm.
But for Nintendo Switch, so many people are just, buying it and be like, all right, I'll just deal with it. Like they complain about Nintendo Online, but they never like actually stop buying it. Like me, like I say Nintendo Online is terrible, but I still want to, play with other people, so I get Nintendo Online.
Yeah. I mean, another issue I find with the Switch is build quality because Joy-Con drift
Oh my god.
.png.
Yeah, oh my god, yeah, dude, that's so annoying.
Like, okay,
I had to buy 3 sets I had to
Yeah.
buy the first comes with it. Then I
Yeah,
had to
yeah.
buy another one because of the drift, and I have another one just for because it's because of the drift, and it's insane. It's
Yeah.
super annoying. Nintendo, get it fixed because it's insane. I'm starting to hate you now, like even more than I have before because of the drift.
Well,
I
that's the
have never
problem.
seen.
The problem
Wii
is
doesn't do this. The Wii has no issue with this. Why does the Joy-Con have this issue?
because they don't care as much. I mean, honestly, here's the problem: is that they're not gonna do anything about it until they legally have to. That's the problem.
Or the sales,
Drop,
crash.
but it won't. They won't. They just won't. Because the
Yeah.
advent, I mean, honestly, the advent of the Switch being portable to me has been dead for a long time. Every time I take it on a trip, which is well, actually, yeah, I do take it on like most trips with me, but I never play it. I'm like, wow, this is just taking up space in my bag. Why'd I do this?
I mean, I bring it and play it once in a while with
Once in a
with my
while, like
brother.
there are occasions, and it's actually interesting because the only games that I play on the Switch nowadays, which is rare, I don't even really play it that much anymore. But when I do, it's like I'm I still haven't beaten Ori and the Blind Forest. So like every
Mm.
time I open up,
I haven't beaten Hollow Knight yet either, so I need to
yeah,
beat that.
it's always like I don't know. It's just like I play that game for a few hours. I'm like, wow, this game is like amazing because it is. But I won't play it again for like another 2 or 3 months. Like,
Yeah, the only thing I can play like repeatedly is Smash, and that's because I have like a huge emotional connection to it, as well as just like the reason why I bought the Nintendo Switch is for the Smash. So
uh, yeah, no, I
so
I
that's
bought
like
it.
the only thing.
I I don't even know why I have one to be honest. Like, the only reason I really would have cared was like if Luigi's Mansion 3 was a launch title or something, because that's my favorite game. But the original is my favorite game of all time. Not saying it's the best game of all time because it's not, but it's my personal favorite game. I have a very like deep connection with that game. I know literally everything about it. So like if that was a launch title, oh my god! But it didn't come out until 2019 or whatever. So I don't. I think it was just
Ooh.
because like I think I just had kind of an obligation to buy Nintendo things because that I never had like an Xbox or a play. Actually, I did have a PS3, but I bought it used
Yeah.
and only to play like a couple of games, and it helped
Mm,
me to do that. But I was always as
mm,
far as consoles, it was always Nintendo. And once
yeah.
I started playing games on PC, I didn't even really care about that unless there was like a new Mario game or a new Zelda coming out. I
Mm.
didn't care. Or Smash. I have Smash Ultimate, obviously. I bought Splatoon 2. I played it for 2 weeks before they changed the online policy. That was the
Yeah.
biggest waste of money I've made in a long time.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I wish we could continue this
Yeah, no,
conversation,
I think
but
we're gonna wrap it up a
yeah,
little bit.
welcome Aidan to our interview today. So, as many people know, Aidan is the head of No Vaseline podcast and has been rapidly expanding his brand. So, I had a few questions for you today, Aidan. So, your first question that I had for you was, what is your vision for No Vaseline brand and your podcast?
I'm glad that you just asked that question because you just opened up and we're talking about my No Vaseline podcast. My No Vaseline podcast is, one of my biggest things. I believe my comedy writing is impeccable. I believe my interviews are impeccable, obviously. No, I'm just kidding. But I really like my comedy writing and stuff. But the main thing this is, I'm the CEO of No Vaseline Media. No Vaseline Media and the brand behind it, this thing is going to be so much bigger than just us and whatever 500 followers we have right now. This is going to be the next biggest thing. And why do I say that? You're asking me what the vision is. The vision behind my brand is that we have something for everybody. Whether you're into cars, whether you're into gaming, I'll talk about that a little while later. Our gaming stream's been killing it. Whether you're into fitness, funny things, every single thing, our goal is to have something for that. And my podcast is basically just a mix of the comedy, rights that I have, the funny people who are a part of my company, famous people that I'm interviewing. A guy who I'm interviewing just went on Vlad TV, and he got a couple thousand hits. He's a former member of like one of the mob families, but the brand is basically something for everybody. And yeah,
I see. Okay, that's pretty cool. So, you want this thing to go global, essentially, right? Like, get everyone to like it.
Exactly, and that's why we have so many different things. Like, I think right now, like we're a couple weeks ahead of schedule in like our shooting and stuff. We're really trying to get everything together. Right now is probably the hardest part, but we have about like about 15 different videos that are coming out every single week. And I mean videos as in YouTube channels, as in, old, like a couple of these people have their own shows. Shout out to No Vassholes, Jean Baruch and Martin Kim. Shout out to Two Real Bitches, Ella and Leah. But the whole point is that we're racy and having these funny things while also promoting good things. We actually are raising money for cancer throughout the entire thing with our Fuck Off Cancer Fund. We are currently in talks with a couple different organizations, one of which we're leaning towards. But for now, no matter what happens, we want to raise money for cancer in our Fuck Off Cancer Fund. If we could do it with the organizations, that's perfect. If the deal doesn't get closed in time, we do not mind. Our goal is to just raise money while also being racy and promoting things that are good.
Yeah, I think
That's
it's fantastic,
Yeah,
honestly.
that's an amazing goal, man. I wanted to ask, since you said that, you wanted to get everyone to, watch Novas, so I wanted to ask, how many people are under you, like that work for you? How many?
You just said work for me, and sometimes I forget, too, just like when
Uh-huh.
I'm talking to people. But nobody, I guess you could, nobody works for me. All of us work together, and
Mhm.
nothing can happen without the other person. For example, I have a kid, light himself on fire in an intro video that you guys will come see soon. But I have another kid who will make a piece of merch off of it. I have another kid who videoed the fire. I have another kid that's going to promote the merch. All this stuff happens together. So, number one, I wouldn't say work for me. How many kids do we have involved in the company? God, it doesn't stop because I feel like every single person is involved in the company. Every single one of my friends has helped me out in some degree. Really involved to the point of, really in the company. I would probably say over 100 to 130 maybe at max. But then again, a lot of the people who are really actively involved are going to really shine. And you guys are going to see, the people who've been putting in work, the people who've really helped us out. And I always say this, about 90% of the stuff happens behind the scenes. I've been working on this for 6 months. I
Mhm.
don't go out, I don't sleep, you know. And some of these kids are doing the same and like really adapting and like helping me out and doing their own thing and killing it, which I'm really happy about.
Mhm.
So, and they have every single thing is different, but every single thing has a team behind it.
Right.
And I could dig more into those teams if you guys want me to. I'll tell you guys about a couple of the teams if you guys want to hear them.
Sure.
Sure,
Yeah,
go
no, go
ahead.
for it.
We have, a business team. I got two kids here in the shed right now. We're sitting here looking. Well, I don't even want to say what we're doing right now, but we're doing some sneaky stuff. We have a merchandise team. I made some of the merch, but then I have a couple kids who are killing the merch. You could go look on the website, and I just ordered a couple of the samples, so that stuff should be live by the time we're dated. At the date, we're gonna also have a limited merch. We have the fitness team. We have all these different podcast teams. We have the social media teams. God, it just never stops, man.
That's
Yeah.
And
insane, man.
yeah, no, there's just so many people involved, and
Yeah,
I'd love to
that's
get anybody involved in any capacity that they think.
mhm. I was wondering because I've been on and off content creating for about 5 years now. I used to when I was like a little and just as a joke, but like I've been sort of like semi seriously been doing it for like 5 years now, on and off. And the trouble that I always find was like logistics and getting stuff actually done. Because like a lot of times, right, when you film it, like you feel really good about it, right, and then you get to the editing process or even like releasing it and things just start to fall apart or you have a schedule and you never end up keeping it the way you wanted to. I'm curious how do you keep the logistics going so I don't know so successfully where you're able to pump out so much content besides the people. What kind of what's involved, what's the process?
I'm not gonna lie, man. I like couldn't do this without every single one of my people. But I've been, like right now, I'm looking at my computer. I like never used to believe in stickies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 stickies. And how do I do it? Also, number one, I keep really good relationships with people, which I really like. That's like something that I really value,
Mhm.
and I let a lot of people just do their own thing. For example, like if you two like really found success with this and decided you guys, want it to be one of our featured shows, you telling me that, you've been doing this for 5 years,
Yeah.
that just shows me how dedicated someone like you is,
Yeah.
which I would, in a second like that, us, keep in contact like over these years, doing stupid stuff. We've always had stupid fun in class as like unclose as we've been, like Joe said, me and Joe haven't talked in a while, but, me and Joe have memories about each other, it was always, it's always a good time,
Yeah.
but that's
Yeah.
the thing. It never really feels like work for anyone. The relationships are so good that I can let people be independent, which because I really trust certain people. Like I'm obviously on top of certain people a little more than others because I have to be if I want this to work.
Yeah.
But trust me, it's just as simple as doing it, man. And like
Mhm.
shout out to one of my friends, Ace, for showing me that quote. But it's just that simple, And if you guys really want it, you really believe in it. You guys like Charles Bukowski, like a poet. Like he's not like a real poet. If you guys do any research, you guys will fuck with Bukowski. But he just loved it, and he wrote, he didn't become famous until his late 50s, and he wrote poems his entire life, and you just have to love it, like it never feels like work, I never have to go to sleep, whatever. We're always having fun, and when it's something like that, and especially something that everybody, this is something in the back of everybody's minds that they want to do. When you create like a real opportunity and show them growth,
Yeah.
it
No,
makes it a
absolutely.
little bit easier.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
for a Twitch stream, that shit's. I'm not a Twitch streamer, Our shit murdered, the first day. Shout out to every single person listening to this. You guys are all my friends. You guys all came, fucked with the Twitch. We like our numbers are crazy. We're gonna be affiliate in 2 days because that's all the requirements we have, and I think we're gonna make 2 more channels affiliates, which I'll reveal soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
All
mean,
affiliated with
that's
the No
amazing.
Vaseline Gaming Club, but this is all just an off brand of like the hype, the promotion, the different
Mhm.
people involved, which
Right.
is
So
why keep on
yeah, go
talking.
ahead.
No, you talk. I'm
Oh
going.
yeah, nah. Yeah. My second question was, since you've been talking about this so passionately, so why are you so passionate about it? Who influenced you in making this podcast or this brand? So like, where did this come from? This passion?
Peace out, Rob. Goddamn. Where did I've always, same as anybody else, you've always had a thought in the back of your mind, and the idea developed over like a course of time. It kind of started with a mindset change of I started like, trying to like study stocks and shit, But you're sitting there in your room, you're stoned, You're studying stocks, but you're not really trying to pay attention,
Yeah.
But then you do this stuff, and it's like I've always read business books. I've always done stuff for business. I've always had a lot of really good friends.
Mhm.
And, one weekend my cousin was over, and it kind of came to me that I wanted to start a podcast. And, the idea developed and got bigger into a business, got bigger into including my friends, once you're in the mindset, once you really change your mindset, I think everything starts to come to you, like the
Mhm.
people come to help you, people that you don't expect,
So
uh,
I wanted to ask, yeah, since you're talking about the podcast and like how you found interest in business, right? So are you gonna go into college with a major of being business?
yeah, I actually just got into Kelly Business School, which is pretty dope, I
Mm.
fucking, as you guys know, I fucking suck at school. I've never read one book for school. I never took an AP class. I took one honors class all of high school. That was bullshit, Just you
Mhm.
guys just really got to trust the process and just trust yourselves, live a little,
Mhm.
I've learned a lot more, partying, than a lot of kids have, being in school. And like not saying that like, the way is to party, I've learned not to do that stuff because that stuff is not the right thing to do. But,
Yeah.
it took me doing that to realize it, I've been broke a couple times. Like right now I have negative $375 in my bank account. That is a true story. I could fucking send you guys like it's anybody ask me, I'll send you a fucking picture. But I have a plan for everything. I know how to, you talk to the bank, you've been affected by COVID. It's all bullshit, man. As long as you know how to play the game better than anyone else, you'll be fine.
Mhm. I definitely think like learning from mistakes is one of the keys to success. 100%. And that's not just the case for growing up. It's the case for pretty much anything that you do, in my opinion.
Every single day, bro. And I've made like a billion mistakes, and we're gonna make a billion more. But I think this no Vaseline thing, really, fucking, you guys got the fucking first interview out of everybody. Come fucking follow these guys if you were watching this in fucking 10 years, because I'm sure these guys will still be doing it in 10 years.
That's the
Fucking,
idea. That's the idea.
it's a lethal takeover, you guys. And this shit's for life for me. I'm being serious. This shit is for fucking life.
So I wanted to ask that because you're going to college, your friends are going to college. I'm assuming some of them are going out of state. So how are you gonna kind of reconnect with your team and kind of keep this podcaster brand afloat?
I really have a lot of bigger ideas how to expand this brand, especially because I want to make it $1 billion brand. But my plan right now is we have a reassessment date, in the middle of season 1. We're putting a lot of promotion into it, whether it's physical or digital promotion. And we have a reassessment date, and at that point we are probably 90% sure of me is wants to expand the business into going into all these different colleges. Once I figure out the formula how to throw a party, I'm going to have all my friends throwing parties across these different states, doing whatever they're into. We're going to hopefully get some content creators involved, all around. And I really want to hold off on sponsorships and stuff because I believe, anybody comes to me with a sponsorship, I believe I could do it myself. You know what I mean? Like someone, comes and wants to have my gaming team promote, a keyboard. Fuck that. I asked my guys who are head in charge, and I asked them how many units we need to sell to fucking get the same amount as that guy offered me. Because that's the way I think, and this is all just going to be expansion.
Did you guys eat?
Yeah.
I was gonna bring food here.
No, you're good. You're good.
No, I can go back and grab it.
Dude, you're good. We just eat.
I bought.
No, you guys keep on talking. I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's fine.
People come in and out of here because
Look
it's
what
like
I
a
just
fucking
texted you.
office, and it's
Look what
fucking
I
like
just
10
texted
feet
you.
tall. You're good. You're good. I just ate.
No, I brought fried chicken for you guys.
Oh, fried chicken. Why the
Yeah.
fuck didn't you tell me that?
I fucking texted you.
No, I'm just kidding. Yo, we'll eat it later. All right, keep on telling me, boys. I'm sorry for that interruption, but that
No,
just goes
no,
to
it's
show.
fine. It's fine.
It's crazy
It's
here.
fine,
It's
yes.
24 hours a day, you guys. If you follow me on Snapchat, I'm never stopping working, and it's never work, Being at McDonald's last night at 3 a.m. and having some kid just slam on the window when they're closed, while I'm sitting in the trunk. It just makes people think, that just if he could do it doing that, why can't I? Because I promise you, I'm gonna fucking do it.
Yeah. All right. I wanted to ask you my third question being, so our friend Jack Usher said he really liked the fact that all the people in your podcast were like family. And so I wanted to ask you what you like the most about No Vaseline. What do you find? Yeah. Yeah. What do you find like the most?
No. It's
Yeah.
probably the family aspect of it. The point where it's like, it took a lot of like realizations and growing for me to like, whatever you do in life, certain people are going to help you more than others. And nobody doesn't help me. But the point is that everybody is family. Whether someone gives me a ride, one time, because I need that for a shoot, or whether someone's here every single fucking day, whether you're watching my videos, whether you just invested $1 billion into me. The whole point is that every single one of us is a family and that this is going to be a takeover, And if you're listening to this right now, welcome to the fucking family because family's only going to get bigger. And I guess you guys are part of the immediate family,
Yeah. No, and I appreciate that, honestly.
Yeah, that's nice. Tyler, you have any questions of your own?
Yeah, actually, something else, because so
Oh, and also
Yeah.
another huge part about this. Please, if you've listened this far, please go download the No Vaseline app when it is out. If you go follow No Vas Pod, you'll see when this shit's coming out. That is another huge thing. We want to drive all of our traffic to our own platforms, whether that be our app or our website, and all it is expansion to come with the better seasons.
So I have an interesting question. So how far in advance do you film, like, let's say, an episode of the podcast? I'm just curious.
The goal right now is to be like 6-7 weeks ahead.
Okay. So, like, out of curiosity, so what generally do you talk about on the No Vaseline podcast? Like, do you talk about current events, or you know what I mean?
My personal podcast is a mixture of my comedy writing, which is amazing, and real life stuff.
Mhm.
My crew, which is everybody a part of No Vaseline. You could come there to get an interview with them to learn a little bit more about their lives. Learn a little bit more about what they do, why they got into whatever specific area they're in, and interviews with famous people with a story to tell, whether that be a famous celebrity, athlete, whether it's a mobster, whether it's a teacher, whether it's a war veteran.
Mhm.
We have all these interviews, which I'm pretty excited about.
So it's really more about like the connection between people more than talking about like a certain topic. It's more about the you know
The storytelling
yeah.
aspect of podcasting.
Yeah, I think that, and I really want to include, like, before this really turned into this whole big thing, I was focusing, I spent a couple months like really mainly on my comedy writing,
Mhm.
and I feel like as this stuff gets going, I'm gonna focus more of my time on my comedy writing
So is
because I
it
really
like I'm sorry to interrupt, but I was just one. So like, is it scripted or is it just kind of you
it's
know?
outlined.
Mhm.
Like,
Okay. Okay.
for example, in one episode we get married to a delivery driver. That was the goal, you know.
Uh huh.
Uh, Another episode, uh, I have a drag queen coming on, and hopefully we're gonna have a psychic medium come on and talk to her or him,
Hmm.
you know. And we're gonna try to get in contact with their dead relatives, see what made them a drag queen, see if their dead relatives approve. A lot of it's comedy writing and pretty racy.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's definitely a way to gain a
Goal.
following.
It's the goal. Be
Hmm.
controversial. Look at the people who did it before,
Hmm.
and emulate it and put your own spin on it and make it your own.
Hmm. So, my personal last question is, how will you market to people outside our area? Since most of the people that follow you or watch you are people from our town or from our school. So I wanted to ask how you're gonna market to people from outside of that area.
Yeah, at this point, if you're following this, you really just heard about this. You know me. You know a friend who knows me. I really fuck with you for following, and if you're listening to this, you're dope as hell. But we have a lot of plans for digital promotion, whether that be, I won't get too much into it, but there's a lot of digital promotional aspects that are going to go into it. And some of the physical promotional things, I got a lot more giveaways that I'm doing. I got some shirts that are coming that I'm going to give away. I got some custom No Vaseline shoes I'm giving away. I'm doing a couple challenges with, everybody's doing challenges, but, we're doing 24 hours in Vaseline. That's what I'm doing.
Uh huh.
Uh, we got, physical items that I'm giving away, shotgun tools with, coupons on them eventually. If you get a shotgun tool off me now, I only have 1,000 of these. These are limited as fuck. So the next batch that come out, there's going to be 20,000. We're giving them away across the country during the road trip. And I won't get too much into that, but we're putting all these different posters everywhere with 10% off coupons. Where we already have certain creators that we're teaming up with that have like substantial followings, a lot of verified people. People are partnered with Twitch. My uncle has a couple Netflix shows coming out that he's shooting at the same place where we're shooting at his pet place. A lot of this stuff is going to be word of mouth too. Going to be a lethal takeover.
Hmm.
Hmm. Well, all my questions are out. You answered them amazingly. So, Tyler, you have any last
Well,
questions you want to ask?
I guess I was kind of curious about some of the more specific shows or stuff that you're shooting, because like you're saying you're going to locations to shoot stuff. I'm just kind of curious, like what exactly, uh, or you don't have to be super specific if you
Oh
don't
no, no,
want
no!
to,
I'll
but
tell you. I'll tell you. Like for the No Vaseline cars, a lot of the people are going to go to car shows and do
okay.
things there. For the
Hmm.
sports, might be like a shed thing. Maybe they're going out to sports games. Gambling is going to be in these people's houses. I think we're aligning that more with the Twitch thing than YouTube videos. We have the pranks and stuff which are out in public, the stunts which are going to be more or less out doing things. Like my uncle has a place upstate where they're shooting the Netflix show.
Hmm.
More or less stunts there, more or less partying there, more or less. Oh, we have No Vaseline builds. It's like more of like an engineering type channel.
Yeah,
which is so we can build stuff up there with my uncle. He has like 2 million followers, like 1 million something followers, and cross promoting with bigger people, emailing people, finding people who've done it before, learning from them, and just always being a sponge.
Huh, that's interesting. I actually have one more question because you were talking about comedy writing. Would you ever consider like doing some kind of scripted show or something like that, some skits or comedy or
I need to. I I have a couple ideas and stuff
Mhm.
that I want to maybe either get into stand up or maybe a show type of thing, but I
Because
feel like as I get into this and this thing is growing, I feel like I'm gonna be able to do it all. I really fuck with the comedy aspect of it, and I want to be a comedian as well as a businessman.
because
I wanna
like
show
if
I
you
want
with the
to both.
team, I'm sorry,
No, no, you
like
good.
with like a team as large as you're saying, it would be pretty easy to do a show, I think.
Oh yeah, and I think we're gonna do it, but I feel like we just need to maybe we could do a show with season one. That's a good idea. Maybe I'll look into it. But right now we got a lot of things. I want to make sure these people are focusing on their own shows,
Right.
doing the best we can for now.
hmm
But that's a good idea, you never know. That is a good idea. TV show or something.
Yeah, or uh, a comedy or just something because that seems to be what
Yeah,
you're most
no.
interested in.
100%, yeah.
Mhm.
We got a lot of stuff with the comedy rights. Every day here is a fucking it's so funny.
Yeah, I completely get that. I think filming things is at least for me, I find it to be like one of the most fun things I've ever done. Like especially filming with friends. It's just so much it's so much fun. It's not work. It's just not.
Oh my god, especially with the people who are coming in and out here every day. They're all my friends, they're all funny, they're all crazy. They all got stories to tell.
Yeah.
It's the best. I couldn't ask for anything better. And if this really does turn into like my $1 billion job, fucking whatever you want to turn into your $1 billion job, you could go do it. Whoever's fuck's listening. So yeah.
That's about all I really have to say. I found
Yeah,
this really
me
interesting,
too.
I gotta say.
A very inspirational interview, I think. Aidan, thank you for coming on, answering our few questions, kind of enlightening us of your mindset and the process that you're going through right now.
100%.
So
And I look
yeah,
forward to talking to you guys again. I look forward to coming on here again as we get bigger. You know, thank you guys for having me on here, bro. It really means a lot to me that you guys were like interested in this, and means a lot, boys.
Yeah, no problem at
yeah,
all.
no problem, man.
I guess I'll see you boys soon. Hit me up anytime. Come over to the shed. Come shoot some stuff with us. Who knows? Maybe come over. We'll do something in person.
All
All
right,
right,
One of
well,
these.
man.
yeah, we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
We'll
All right.
still
Yeah.
we'll figure something out. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Peace out,
All
boys.
right.
All right.
Yeah.
Talk to you soon.
Section. Our next section is just updates.
Yes.
So I'm gonna tell them about it. So now we've got a big update on our first live action short. So it's gonna be kind of like a found footage inspiration where it's like where somebody has found footage found footage that somehow somebody got and they kind of piece it together and they find and then this skit is kind of gonna be like horror based. It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's like a big project we have in our planning phase
Yeah.
and script phase. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And yeah, I don't have much to say other than that for updates. How
Yeah, I
about you,
mean,
man?
we're in the process of like casting and script writing and location scouting, which is actually a thing we're going to be doing very soon. But um, yeah, we're not
Oh
really
yeah,
going
follow our gaming channel.
to.
Like and subscribe. Write any comments of anything. Just write anything on our comment section.
Yeah,
We'll definitely say something if you have anything to say.
yeah,
Follow my channel, which is the name has been changed to something else. It's instead of the previous old name, it's called Shy Masked Studios. We're probably gonna do more of a less formatted content there. It's more of just pretty much like shit posting almost, but just doing whatever we want, almost like the Cesspool podcast. And thank you for watching our episode. And we'll see you in the next episode.
See you guys then.